Joystick, the Joystick Show. Up, down, left, right, B, A, select.
Start. Welcome, gamers, to our twisted reality. The Roaring Twenties are here, and we shall not speak easy.
Joystick, the Joystick Show.
Welcome, everybody. We're back. 2020. Young man, do you realize you've lived in 3 decades already in your youth? In the days of my youth. You know what I'm saying? What?
Yeah, I have.
Right? The O's, hundreds, the tens, and now the 20s. Isn't this a beautiful thing? And all along the way, got all this nostalgia going on here. Remember the Wii Fit? You remember that. Actually, I was just looking the other day on the Joystick Show, the site, and I saw the old Wii Fit gaming we used to do.
Yeah.
I think I got this for like giveaways or something like that. It was crazy fun. I mean, come on. Don't you just feel like you can play tennis or something with these things? It's awesome. So, yeah. So we go by our gamer tags. I am Bogue Spear.
I'm Thing12.
All right. I think I can probably take these down. Here, this thing is a little much, or no?
Yeah.
You think just a little bit? Okay. There we go. We're back at it finally after a long holiday break. And want to talk some video games. A ton of information came out, really exciting, because we even said it around Christmas time. Santa came down through the chute, right, with his bag, and didn't leave very many video games or very many video game consoles, right? Not a lot going on this year on that. But OMG, Santa, can you hear me? Guess what you got to bring next year?
The Xbox Series X.
Yeah, baby, that's what we're talking about. So we got information on we want to talk about. I'm sure everybody's well aware of it, but we want to speak our minds on as well. But before we do, how do they get a hold of us via the channel or the audio, the buds, the Rumble Pack? What do they do?
You can contact us on our Twitter, JoystickShow. Wait, at @joystick_show on Twitter, JoystickShow.com, which is our website, or just comment down below.
All right.
While you're listening.
All right. We are listening and hearing. We appreciate those that are starting to watch a little bit, checking us out, and certainly everybody that podcasts us throughout the, every couple weeks now that we're able to jump in and do this. So before we get started, we do have a sponsor this week. It is GG, the Gamer Gym. For those gamers with New Year's resolutions to get to the gym, each treadmill is a VR, each stationary bike has an Xbox attached, and each juice bar still offers bags of Cheetos. That's right. Join today at GG, the Gamer Gym, and you may be opening. Oh, it may be opening in your area, right? Coming soon. So check them out at gggym.net today. All right, there you go. Got big dollars coming from old GG Gym.
Dang.
Wait,
what does the middle G stand for in GG Gym?
I think they just needed a URL to kind of work for them. I don't know. So, boy, you ask a lot of questions.
It's kind of a good idea, though.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, joystick, just the ideas just come shooting out of the brain, in the membrane. Good stuff. All right, so let's talk. We start off by the gaming front. What's on the gaming front for you and me, and you and me?
Well, mainly me, but you have played a little bit, is the Jedi Fallen Order. We said we were going to get it last show, and we did, and it's really fun. It's like basically a if you haven't really seen too much on it, it's a mix between God of War and Uncharted, which are 2 PS4 exclusives, but now this is a regular Xbox game. So
but we actually steamed it, so we got it on Steam.
Well, yeah, we got it on Steam, but I use my controller still because like
a PS5 or 4 controller.
Yeah, because I got a connector for that. But okay, so the game so far after me playing it is super fun. Like, I saw all the reviews on it, and they were saying how it gets repetitive, but I haven't felt that at all yet. And I've been playing for maybe 6 hours on it. Yeah. Total of everything, maybe 7 or 8. I don't know, but it is really fun.
Well, it's interesting because I had a chance to play it to a certain point, and then somebody didn't save right, and so now I have to start all over again.
Yeah, he didn't. So he didn't save right because I don't know. We had someone with playing on 2 separate computers, and yeah.
But it's the same Steam account, so maybe that's. I don't know. The long story is I didn't get that far in, but I got far enough into kind of review the game and check it out. And it was, I tell you, one of the most beautiful games I've seen yet. Now, granted, we're playing it on our, what is it? What's the Geo? The net? What is our video card? I know I have an 8.
Mine's 1070.
Yeah, mine's a 1060 or 1070. One of the two. 8 gig of RAM, right? But I am telling you what.
32.
32 gig?
On mine.
On yours?
Mhm.
I don't think mine isn't that big. Maybe 16? Maybe. I
Anyway.
don't know. Anyways, great. They're PC gamers, or consoles. Not consoles. What are they called? Towers, right?
PC
Gaming
towers.
towers. So just saying how beautiful the game actually was to be able to play that, because the cutscenes, I mean, even though you're living it and playing it along the way, even from the difference from the cutscenes to the actual gameplay is very little.
That's what I'm saying. I've been in so many situations where I've been looking at it and I'm thinking I'm in a cutscene, so I put my controller down, sit back and watch it. Next thing you know, it wants me to move around and do stuff.
Right.
Like it's the actual game, and I just didn't even tell the difference.
Right.
Like,
that's when games are really good. I mean, I think we're at that level now, especially on the PC, where I think the consoles are pretty close now too for most of the games. I saw even some of the Call of Duty games I played this past year, but not to the extent this was. This is fantastic. So the game itself, to me, it's kind of a compilation, as you said, about all the different elements that are working in gaming right now, even with the skill tree, that you can choose which way your Jedi wants to go, survival or more force or what have you, right? So that's kind of cool. Obviously, the lightsaber is the big thing, because it's a Jedi game. You can customize that and do it. So I saw some of that customization, which is pretty cool. You get your supporting droid, just like BB-8 and D2, D1. What's in the new? We saw the new Star Wars too, which is awesome. I do have to admit.
Oh,
but
well, the one in the game is BD1.
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 Yeah.
So
all right. So everybody, that's their typical. Every Jedi's got to have a droid. So that's a really cool feature too, that he upgrades and so forth as well. So ultimately, so far the storyline has been really, really good as well. I mean, right from the get-go, the characters, the depth of the character. I mean, I fell in love with that first dude that came. Well, as much as you can in the video game, checking it out. It was really strong, and the dialogue and everything, right? Really good as well. So if you don't have the game, you're a Star Wars fan, you gotta get it.
Yeah, I mean, for an EA game, for an EA game as well, no in-game purchases. It's everything from the start,
which is rare.
And it's a really good game. Like, it doesn't fall far from almost like a God of War being the game of the year last year. Was it, or was at least running for it?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think it did in a couple of categories, but so. Yeah, so that's we played that. It's definitely worth picking up on your part. I had done that. I know you said you played Bone. I think we talked about it last week too, right? Or whatever, the last show.
Boneworks, yes.
Boneworks.
The VR game.
Yep.
Still playing that.
Okay, we can talk a little bit about that in the riff wrap. And then I played in some BattleTechs. I had a little time off. Still haven't got very far on it, but you know what I did pick up again is I went back to the tabletop and played Dice Thrones, which again, for the heavy geeks out there, if you're familiar with any type of tabletop game, certainly the tabletop simulator that you can pick up on your PC. If you haven't tried this game, want to have a great even it's can be a tag team 2-on-2, so if you got a bunch of guys that want to jump on, it's a great game to play. It's a Yahtzee on steroids type game. I think I mentioned it way back when, a couple years ago, as we launched, but I'm playing that again. They had some new releases. Met the guys at PAX South, which, by the way, who's going to PAX South? This guy and you, right? We're going. Who's going to OwlCon in Houston? This guy. Who's going to Gen Con in the summer? This guy. I'm telling you.
Are you going to dress up?
Oh, of course I'm going to dress up.
What are you going to dress up as?
A dragon. And I'm going to have my wings just flop around and hit people as I walk around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just like annoy everybody.
No,
I'm not going to do that. So, anyway, so that's what I'm playing. It's a great game. Check it out. It's called Dice Thrones season. I don't know if there's 2 seasons out right now. So that's going. Oh, by the way, before we forget, we got to talk about our nostalgia stand. Okay. Who remembers Intellivision? By the way, the reason behind this, I don't know if I told you last week, I've been told I have to get rid of and throw stuff away. That's right. The Queen Bee, we're trying to downsize in the new studio's new place. And I'm thinking, what do I do with this stuff? Like, I don't think I'll ever play Intellivision this way. Because if you notice, anybody's a true gamer and had the Intellivision, it was on a little wrap cord. You could barely move away from the console. That had a little pad. It had buttons. Had numbers, on it. So that's how you did it. Like playing football, you had to do 6-5-4, and it ran a certain play, and then you ran the guy. It was like a whole different world. Skiing was way different. It had 2 buttons on the side, I believe. This with the old school console, or I mean with the newer like pad and stuff, I really don't know if I could get into the games as well. There's like 25 games on here, which are awesome. I still haven't taken it out of the package. You can see I've had it forever and a day. But in television you guys remember some of these games? There was the big games were of course football on it, skiing. A lot of it was sports related. There's a hockey game that wasn't too bad, a volleyball, baseball. There's a wrestling game that was pretty cool. And then they tried to do they couldn't call it Space Invaders because that was probably copyrighted by Atari, but they did Space Armada and a couple other games that were very similar to it as well. There's the football. That's the best game ever right there. So anyways, that's our nostalgia stand back in the day. Played some in television, those that are old enough to remember, like myself, not just 3 decades, 6 decades for me. I know. Look at me. And yet not a wrinkle. No, yeah. There's a few wrinkles. All right. So anyways. All right. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're playing. I believe it's now time for...
The Joystick News Report. Joystick News!
Right. What do we got in the news? Let's start talking. So the big news, yay, since we started and since we did the last show, was what?
Is the Xbox Series X.
Xbox Series X. Not Scarlett Johansson. No, it's not called that at all. There was a couple other names too, right? And here's the question. Is it discless? No, there's a disc slot for it, right? To put all your old games in, and I think it's going to be compatible with all games, right?
Why did you... if they made it discless, it wouldn't get as many sales.
I know, they talked about it, though. I remember early on talking about it.
Discless.
Well, because they're talking about streaming, right? Like how Stadia, which, by the way, we didn't get, as we discussed, wasn't going to go down that road since there wasn't really enough games that were new. You know, like if Stadia came out with its own Halo...
If we were going to get a subscription, I'd rather get... Game Pass.
Yeah, for sure. And we're gonna get that too, especially when if it's true that Halo Infinite comes out, right? With it. So, but anyways, go ahead. We were talking about Xbox Series X. Talk a little bit about it. Do you know some of the details?
Well, I do know that the main thing going around about it is about the pricing and what it's gonna be like, because many people want it to be like another console where it's reasonably priced, like at most $500.
Yeah.
Somewhere around the 400 mark as where a console should be, but they're saying what they tried to tell us in November of 2019 was that it's going to be a console, but it's also it's a high-end piece of equipment that's going to be more up in the PC range, and people are getting a little mad about that. But they're saying it's still going to be basically where you can think about right now is probably around $700,
$699 price point.
Yeah, which is gonna be interesting. But
they also Santa ain't coming.
So someone told us, or someone wrote down this website that
What's enough of to give them the
GameSpot.
Oh, okay.
So basically what it was is they were talking about how someone went in and looked at all the specs of it, looked at everything, and said what the price should be.
Yeah.
Without that, with a normal console, what it should be, and they said around $500, so $499. But that's with them trying to make money.
But wait,
them trying to make more money and doing things after making this whole console. They probably priced it around $600 or $500.
But wait, though, I mean, a good graphics card, like state-of-the-art graphics card, is almost like $2,000 itself right now. Right? To get a really good, the new NVIDIA or whatever. So I'm looking at trying to figure out, you know what I mean? If they're really going to be that quality of graphics. I mean, they say it's going to be twice as fast in quality of the Xbox One X, right? And 5 or 10 times as much as the original Xbox One. So, I mean, the processing speed and so forth is going to be way fast. Now, maybe the graphics aren't going to be quite as good. I think that was processing speed. That wasn't graphic speed, right? Or graphic storage. But so maybe not quite as much, but I can't imagine them not, bringing to the table something that's going to last a few years, right? 2-3 years at least.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. So I know they're thinking about all of that and making it the right price, but
right.
They probably just went, in order to make it a good price, they probably upped everything like processing speed, but brought down some of the stuff. You can tell they've just going for actual processing and stuff when they make a box.
Right.
They're not going for looks, or they're not going for anything like that.
Yeah.
So maybe they're going down on, they're dropping some stuff. It says the RAM is going to be, or not the RAM. So the max refresh rate is gonna be 120 hertz.
Mm-hmm.
I know they're doubling the frames. So Xbox used to be only 60 frames. Now it's 120 frames.
Okay.
And so they're upping
Which is
some
good
stuff.
for faster speed stuff, especially the sports games and stuff too, I believe, right?
And then they're dropping some other stuff, I guess, to make it more reasonable. Maybe, unless they're not dropping.
Well, it's interesting because it is going to be. I thought I was going to have to go buy another. Remember the old school desks that you had to have with the little. I think we still have one. A little slot that you had to put your tower in so that you could have a gaming. I thought it was going to be there. Then they showed the actual tower. It's like only like this big, right? Like that?
Well,
Okay.
yeah, it's
Can
about
I see
like
that?
that big.
Can I see that on the camera?
Yeah, it's not actually.
And I heard you can put it on your side too, so that's a nice thing.
Also, the controllers are interesting because the controllers have like, instead of like your normal D-pad left, up, down, right, it's like there's up, or there's like north, south, east, west,
And
just like the new ones, but then there's like a northeast,
Oh,
northwest.
so they got angled ones too.
They have angled
Well,
ones.
it picks up another 4 options, right, per game, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, so
And almost like a full rotation of a circle too when you do it, right? Or actually be this side, right? Because it's still on this side. Yeah.
But they also added a share button on the controller, so you can share, like almost like Stadia was doing.
Right,
But it's
which
like
is smart. But I still think Stadia's got that since they own YouTube.
like hold it to video the last 2 minutes, or click it to take a screenshot, stuff like that, which is helpful.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that should be
So
pretty
no
good.
more
Like I said,
Series X.
we're hoping. We assume as you think, Halo Infinite obviously is going to be maxed out on that, right? When it comes out, I think it's going to be like a combo or
I know.
package.
I think
or
Halo
something.
Infinite is the best way to promote it. I think it's gonna be like they're showing everything that it can do with one game.
Right.
About.
Right. Which is enough. I mean, the Halo franchise, Xbox was started on that, so I think they get a shot. And that's why I said we didn't do Stadia, because they really didn't have their own, version of Halo coming out with their world. So, which I think is crazy, because they could bought up a couple of gaming studios last year like that and had them put something out. That would have been rocking. But anywho, so that's.
The other thing is that the Xbox, the Series X is only going to have one fan. He was talking about.
Okay.
One fan to actually make it do its thing, but it says that one fan is as powerful and as quiet or loud as the One X.
Which isn't loud at all.
Well, yeah. So if you hear, it's not something that's going to be annoying in your background. But the One X had, I believe, 2 fans.
Yeah.
So they're making it just as powerful with just one, so they can fit more stuff
It's like
in there.
air cooled or something like that.
I don't know, but it's just as powerful, just as louder, just as quiet.
Cool. That's important too, because especially when they're playing our PC games, like we're playing Jedi. Well, you can hear them fans going. I think there's like 4 in there.
Yeah.
Of course, they're all neoned up. You know what I mean? It gave me. We pimped it out. We made it look like.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah, it is cool. So, all right, so that is the Xbox Series X. Some details on it. We're looking forward to it. We'll stay close on that, obviously, throughout the year with y'all and discuss further. Next, we want to look ahead rather than looking behind. Everybody talks about 2019. You know what I mean? The greatest games. Everybody puts this out for clickbait, and everybody looking at it, focused on it, and so forth. Which is probably smart to do, right? To pick up people and viewers and listeners and so forth. But for us, we want to look ahead and say, because we're not smart in this, obviously, we just want to look ahead and say what's coming up for 2020. And this specifically we looked into for our PS5 gamers out there, right?
PS4.
I'm sorry, PS4. No, PS5 coming out for, right? 2020.
PS4 exclusives.
Oh, exclusives, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, so PS4, because 5 isn't out yet. Okay. So what do you have?
Yeah, so starting off with the PSVR, we have Iron Man VR.
That's awesome.
Which I heard about a while ago.
I cannot believe that's exclusive to the VR. I want to know.
They're
how
taking
they
all the superheroes.
How did Sony get that when Marvel still owns Iron Man? How did they get the exclusive on that? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see like Spider-Man VR, right? Because they have the right. They probably have the rights to the movie, not the games. But anyways.
Yeah. The other thing is, they made a Spider-Man exclusive game too. So.
Oh, okay. There you go.
The other thing they have is Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Okay.
That's coming out. Neo 2.
Okay.
Neo
Final
2.
Fantasies are big. I mean, that's what I think the whole Halo is to Xbox is Final Fantasy, right?
Really?
Well, I don't know. It's not really exclusive though, is it?
No.
No. Anyways.
The other one's Last
Disregard
of Us. The Last of Us Part 2.
Okay. Part 2. So I don't know how good was Part 1.
I don't know. I don't really know much about The Last of Us. Wow. Okay. Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was just announced on the 2019 Gaming Awards, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was that was coming out. They talked about that game.
Yeah. Not very many. I mean, if people think that's cool, that's cool. But like,
Yeah.
I don't see
Anything that's going to be rocking worlds. I mean, the Iron Man VR to me is the catch-all thing. Because imagine that, being able to fly. Because you think about it, you really don't have to, like walk or run. I don't know. How are you going to do that? Should I get like a bed? Maybe you need to go buy a massage table, right? And so then, and stand there in VR, and then when we go to fly, we just lay on it and do that. What do you think?
That'd be interesting. With a bigger hole so you can... Yeah.
I think it'd be cool.
We don't have a PSVR.
I know. Well, I'll have to get one for that. We got the PS4.
I'm not a huge fan of the PSVR.
You're not?
Because no.
With the big old balls on the end?
Yeah.
They got a couple of balls. Huh?
Feels too clunky. I
Yeah.
don't know. And
well,
I know the headset's giant.
Yeah.
It goes on. It's pretty comfortable. But it's
you know what it looks like? It looks like the helmet from Star Wars when they're about to drop the Death Star. Boom!
Yeah.
Right?
Mm.
Down. That's what it looks like. But anywho. Okay, so that's looking ahead. Some stuff coming up PS4. You want The Rise of Skywalker? We said we saw the movie. Very good. I don't want to go. This is a video game review show, so we don't talk about it. But outside saying it, they definitely did much better than the last one. That was a debacle.
Mm-hmm.
So the final episode, spoiler? No, not really. We won't get into it. So great movie. Check it out. Go see it. But here's the thing that I thought was interesting is that this whole lead up to it, because I think we had talked maybe briefly about it in the last show, but then since then the movie came out, everything happened, was the Fortnite Association. How, right? You played. What was the deal again with that?
Oh, it was just the crossover. So Fortnite did this thing where it was an event, and they brought down, I believe, J.J. Abrams came out on the event. Like, they made him a skin in the game, and he walked out, and they talked about the new movie. But the main thing about it was that they actually played, you could choose between 4 different scenes from the movie to see early.
Yeah.
But one of them was actually a deleted scene. So you were getting a deleted scene in Fortnite.
Oh.
From The Rise of Skywalker before it even came out.
Right. That's amazing how, I mean, that game itself, how they associate now gamings with the movie, especially because it wasn't even out. Like, I know Fall Jedi came out, right? Mm-hmm. So why didn't they do something with the Jedi game into that? You know what I mean? I think it was because of the huge following. Obviously, Shane. Obviously, it's going to be something where you're going to want to go to where all the people are, right? So Fortnite's a huge community. What other... I guess other movies would you see that make sense? Like, what does Halo do? Or I mean, like, let's say Marvel comes out with another one. Do they do it with Marvel, or is
They've already done a Marvel one? Remember?
With what?
Well, all superheroes. You could have the Captain America shield, Iron Man's repulsors. We can fly.
Right, but I'm saying like the movies. What next movie would come out that would work with a video game? Do you know what I'm saying? It seems like like the Punisher or the next series, whatever. You get some if they come out with a movie, a Punisher movie.
Well, they did John Wick, so there's really no. There's no limit to it.
That's true too.
John Wick is rated.
Right.
What is it? R? Is it R? And they have plenty of little kids on that game, but they did a crossover with that anyway.
Did they?
Yeah, they didn't show a scene though. So.
Right. I don't know. I thought it was really unique that they came out with it and showed it ahead of time. For everybody to check out. Cool. That was
sure.
the crossover movie magic and video games. What else? There's something else in the news too.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about your D&D.
Oh, the D&D. Yeah. So it's amazing how D&D is, for the nerdists in the world. Everybody says, okay, video games, and that's fine. But I think they just said that they're going to have 8 D&D games out in 2020. Like, we talked about Baldur's Gate, I think 3, Baldur's Gate 3 is coming out, right? The big one, though, is the Dark, what is it called? Dark what is it? Come on, Shane, right here. What is that?
Dark Alliance?
Yeah, Dark Alliance, thank you. Dark Alliance is supposed to be an awesome RPG co-op game, but more like the Jedi. I mean, the storyline and the graphics and everything are supposed to be incredible. That game I'm looking forward to, but 8 games coming out? That's amazing. Like, I'm going... My boys in Austin, Texas, we're doing the role-playing rally, which is coming up this weekend, actually. It's just a D&D get-together where a bunch of geeks sit around, roll some dice, and have a good time. I always try to help out there and work with those guys. Great folks, and that's this weekend in Austin. But point being is that, I mean, that's been around since the 70s, but the fact that these games, which really we came up on in our generation, was Pool of Radiance, Baldur's Gate, I was trying to think. Those are the two major originals that came through the whole series, or whatever. From the Commodore 64, 128. Commodore 128 actually played it way better. But those games, even today, so we're now in 2020, right? And we got 8 games that are even being remastered, made new, or what have you, off of the D&D original lore and storyline. So I'm looking forward to that. And that one I'm definitely picking up, because that one's going to have a lot of value into it as well.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I know how much you love. What's your favorite race in D&D?
I don't know.
Come on.
I
Elf, dwarf, dark elf, wood elf, high elf.
I usually just picked whatever gave me the most creativity.
Okay.
Like
Halfling.
someone with like magic or something.
No,
I
that's
can
a
do
class.
whatever I
That's
want.
not a race. Come on. Oh my god.
I don't know. Oh, I was the
Orc?
most normal person.
Oh, human?
Yeah.
You can be a half elf. I always loved being a half elf.
Yeah.
It was like human, but you had those pointy ears. Kind of like this one. Look.
Yeah.
See it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm already a half elf. It's good stuff. All right, so that's D&D. A lot of stuff cooking and happening there. Is that the news? That's the news.
This concludes your Joystick News Report.
Joystick News.
All right.
All right, so we got time for it's time for the riff rap.
Rift. Rap.
And what are we talking about?
I don't know. What are
You
you
said
talking
bone
about?
something, right?
No, we already talked about that last.
Oh, okay.
Show.
What was it?
You were playing.
I went back and played because I have a little time here on on vacation. Star Trek Bridge Crew. Played it. Had some time on my hands, and said, you know what? I'm going to check this game out again. I went back and tried to get my game back on, trying to remember how things worked and so forth. But the worst part of it is I went back and I said, hey, maybe they've got Voyager out. Maybe they got Deep Space Nine. Well, Deep Space Nine, you'd be sitting there moving the thing barely at all as you went through it. But all the new ones coming out, nothing. Discovery, nothing. There's no DLC, and I don't understand why. It's such a great VR game.
Yeah.
Nobody's working on it. If they need me to take the license over and get some folks on it, I will, because it's the greatest VR game out there. What's going on? I gotta ask and find out. I'm asking you right now, why aren't you adding DLC? I don't know. So
I don't know.
But that's
I do
what I've been
agree.
playing.
It's a fun game to play with friends. But yeah.
It's one of the best games, right? 4 players. I mean, come on. There's very few 4-person co-ops.
But to be
that really
honest,
rock
I
it.
didn't really. The DLCs didn't do it for me. It wasn't even the story. What I was doing, I wasn't focused on the actual game and what was going on.
Yeah.
It was just fun to do it with someone, to sit in there and control and fly the ship.
Well, right.
Like, I could play the same missions over and over again to just get that experience.
Well, that's all people have been doing, obviously, because the DLCs aren't out. So I don't understand that. But somebody that does like Star Wars, the history, the whole details, like why isn't there, Romulans? Why isn't there the Gorn? Why do I have some Orion coming in pirates that I have to take out? Right? Zinti, bring me them. I'm telling you, it would be awesome. And so I don't know what's going on with it, but that's happening on the Rift Rap. Okay. What else?
Alrighty. So for the deal of the week.
Deal of the week.
What is it?
It's Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint for PS4, Xbox One on Amazon, only $15.
$15? That's it?
That's it.
Wait, 15 or 19?
15.
No, when you click on it, I think it's $19.99 now. I think if you actually go to it, that's what you're gonna have to.
Yeah, it's gonna be $19.99.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Save 5 at checkout.
Yeah, you got to do that because I what was it? It was just $50 like not too long ago. But now that the holidays are over, that game I might pick up $20 for a Breakpoint. I don't know why it's so cheap right now, unless it didn't get a lot of love or something. Was that the problem or no?
Maybe. It could just be a winter deal as well. Also, before you I would check before you get on Amazon, I would check see if it's this much on any other platform like Epic or Steam or anything, wherever it's out.
Yeah.
It saves you the disk space. You can get.
Well, you can do a download though. Download's $19.99 too. A direct download. See it?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
you can get. Now I don't know where it downloads it to. Probably what? Just a storage. One of your.
Yeah. If you don't see it anywhere else, then go to Amazon and get it for $20 if you want it.
That's pretty sweet, right? That's a heck of a deal. I thought about doing that before the vacay is over. And check that game out because I love Ghost Recon. So
that is the deal of the week.
All right. So lastly, which I brought up, you can bring it over to your unit there. Let's talk about the new releases for the week of January 5th through the 11th. Okay.
Yep.
What are we doing?
So for the 5th through 11th, we got some games out. We got what is it? What are we looking for here? We got what's a game called 140. It's apparently like a minimalistic platformer for the Switch. It's got pretty good ratings.
Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter World Iceborne.
Oh, it's the expansion.
Yep, it's gonna be the expansion for PC.
It's gonna be what?
Expansion for PC. I think it's already came out on the Xbox because I saw some people playing it.
Awesome. And then is there anything? It was actually kind of there's not a lot that came out over the holidays, right? Even if I took a look at last week, with a couple of weeks that we missed. Rocket Birds, Turok 2 came out for Nintendo Switch. If everybody was looking for it, but I really don't see a lot.
Whoa, Dr. Kawashima's brain training.
What?
So,
do you know about this?
What the heck? That's so weird.
Oh, we get to do brain surgery.
No, do you remember? Do you remember what that is?
Oh yeah, that was those games that you played to try to make your mind quicker, faster, or no?
Something like that. It was on the old DS. That face is so it's
burned etched in your mind.
It was so weird. It was something they had on the old DS. It was just the weirdest thing.
Right. Total War 3 Kingdoms is the Mandate of Heaven. Looks like it's coming out for PC in the US as well. It's getting a great rating. I know there's Total War is big fans of that. That's out there. Cool game. Check it out. That's out coming on the 16th. I think 15th or 16th of
not expecting
January.
too much for the next months.
Yeah.
Actually, I take back. In February we are getting March we are getting Dying Light 2, which I'm excited for. But yeah, so with the beginning of the year, not much because of the Series X and PS5 coming out soon.
Right.
So.
Cool. All right, that's the show, buddy. Good stuff. Trying to keep you updated. At least try to do this every couple weeks. Get in there, get the lights, the camera action going for the videos, and of course for our buds out there that listen in and podcast audio every time we launch it. We appreciate you doing so. To the Rumble Pack, how do they get a hold of us if they want to be on? We're going to actually try to get some guests on too, right? A couple folks saying they wanted to jump on and like to get other folks talking as well. I don't know if we have enough room in the studio now. We'd have to crunch over, right? We'd have to covet this area.
Position right in the middle, see the whole screen.
There you go. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
So.
All right.
Anything else? How do they get a hold of us?
You can get a hold of us at joystick_show on Twitter, joystickshow@gmail.com, or our website, joystickshow.com.
All right. Sounds good. Until next time, game on.
Joystick, the Joystick Show.